Hello, I'm Sean Cassidy.
And I'm Nicole Picton, and this is Spoke TV, your source for local and campus news.
Lineups at Tim Hortons have become slower since they adopted the use of debit machines in their cafes, especially at the Dune location. But they may have a solution to the lengthy lines across the country. Spoke TV's Bob Mooney gives us the details.
Thousands of Canadians can soon cut down time spent waiting in lineups for their coffee. Interact Association and Tim Hortons have now announced that Tim Hortons will be the first and largest national restaurant in Canada to use Interact Flash across the country. Tim Hortons employee Hilary McKeag tells us how this will help the flow of people coming in and out each day.
The new Interact system will help that out a lot. It'll skip all the usual steps involved in using your debit and credit cards. You'd be amazed of how many people struggle with it.
Here at Conestoga College, there seems to be the same type of problem. Waiting in lineup for 20 to 25 minutes can really hurt if you're rushing to class. By holding their Interact-enabled flash card in front of a reader, customers can pay for their food and coffee much more quickly and conveniently. But is it safe? Conestoga student Ian Lang tells us how he feels about the new Interact Flash system.
I use the Visa thing with basically the same thing. I feel pretty safe using it. I figure, even if it does get stolen, I'm pretty sure it can only be used up to, a limit of $50 for the tap.
Interact Flash will be introduced at 2,300 Tim Hortons locations across Canada by the end of the month, with the hopes of reducing long lineups. For Spoke TV, I'm Bob Mooney.
Garbage has and always will be an issue. Finding a place to put it is even harder. But imagine if the dump was in your backyard. Spoke TV's Jackson Wagner has the story.
We've all heard the phrase reduce, reuse, and recycle. But here at Waterloo Region's Waste Management Center, they believe the first two are the most important.
This attitude comes as a result of the Master Plan project that emphasizes conservation and reuse of landfill materials. Sue White, manager of waste collection at the facility, tells us about the program.
We just started it a few months ago. We're at very, very early process for the master plan. And it really is to look at what happens with our waste after the landfill is full.
With residential areas and local businesses growing, some now border the landfill. Sue discusses the methods used to control the odor.
Odor and litter are something that certainly does happen here. We have lots of things in place to try to minimize that. There is a liaison committee of sort of residents as well as whomever around this area is interested that can get together and talk about their concerns, and so that's a regular meeting that happens so that we can sort of hear what they're saying and try to address the issues.
With the Tri-City's size growing larger and larger and the population ever rising, the Ironitas landfill needs to expand and create new cells to support the large population. For Spoke TV, I'm Jackson Wagner.
Ever had problems keeping up with the flow of things in your classes? Conestoga offers many services for students to excel in areas some of us may struggle in. Spoke TV's Kate Childs gives us an inside look.
Students may walk by the office every day, but few enter the doors. At Disability Services, students diagnosed with a disability register with the school to receive extra help for them to excel. A majority of students enrolled with Disability Services have non-visible disorders, such as attention deficit disorder and learning disabilities. Conestoga student Leanne Vance Bronson benefits from the help she can receive at school, such as a quiet room and more time to take her tests.
I have trouble getting from what's on a paper to in my head and what's in my head to on the paper. So when I read textbooks, I sit in my room and I read them out loud to myself so I can hear the words, and then I really get them in my head.
There are specific programs available to help students with individual learning. The Adaptive Technology Lab is a room dedicated to helping students find suitable ways to learn. Sue Little coordinates the room and how to help students.
We were looking at learning disabilities. Now we're looking to all disabilities, and we're trying to accommodate and provide software and hardware to assist those students.
The lab is equipped with adjustable desks, large print keyboards, and a high-speed scanner that allows students to scan entire textbooks in just a few hours. Many students can benefit from the resources available at the Adaptive Technology Lab, such as the Smart Pen, which will record the lecture as you write, and with a press of the pen to the page, you can re-listen where you wrote those notes. However, students must provide adequate documentation before registering with Disability Services. For Spoke TV, I'm Kate Childs.
Other services offered at Conestoga may also not be as well known. The concern of safe sex is everywhere, but are people getting the message? Spoke TV's Stephanie Snedden goes out to talk to students to see how informed they are about the health services offered by the college.
What do you know about safe sex and information services offered at Conestoga? Are enough students aware of the resources available to them? It doesn't seem that way. Many are unaware of the condoms, informative pamphlets, and professional health services such as counseling that are accessible to them. Talking with college students such as Rob Rocheron makes this clear.
I don't really. I assume they give out condoms just like in high school, but yeah.
That's the last one I have to say.
On the other hand, there are some students here at Conestoga College that are aware of the emergency contraceptives and resources offered at the health service office.
Well, I was in a program last year that dealt with like organizations like Planned Parenthood and like just stuff to like help out like women who are, young teenagers who are pregnant. And I know they have a lot of contacts in the office, like you could go in and talk to them about it, right?
One of those contacts is dedicated Conestoga counselor Barbara Kraler.
I don't think it's as simplistic as that. That word needs to get out, I guess, because this is another place that people can pick up condoms. But in terms of really safe sexual practice, there's a lot more to it than that.
Millions of youth are affected by the dangers of unprotected sex each year. Keeping yourself informed by using such services can reduce the risk for everyone. For Spoke TV, I'm Stephanie Snedden.
The Ontario Medical Association is proposing to put warning labels on some food products like you would see on cigarette packs. Do you want to see graphic images before you open your box of pizza? Stephen Ward goes out to find what others think.
Many crave fast food and salty, sugary snacks knowing they're not a healthy choice, but eat them because they just taste so good. Early last week, the Ontario Medical Association stepped up its war on these high-calorie foods. They want to use the same graphic labels and tax increases that worked well with their anti-smoking campaign and are now applying them to their fight on obesity. The president of the OMA, Dr. Doug Weir, explains.
Part of it is that we know that if children are obese or overweight, that 75% of them are going to go on to be obese and overweight as adults. We do know from research that in cigarettes that those labels did make a difference. Similarly, I think particularly for children, if they see these kinds of graphic pictures, it will decrease their consumption of these kinds of foods.
So cafeterias like this will be subject to changes under OMA's proposal. They'd like to see increased taxes and hopes to force cafeterias much like this to label the calories for all their products. Although the fast food establishments we contacted turned down our request for an interview, many students here at Conestoga College have strong opinions about the OMA's proposal.
Well, I'm a nurse, so I think it's actually a really good idea because obesity rates have been increasing.
It's going to be very bad to my health. It will stop me from eating this. If I saw that on a Coke can, I don't think I would drink the Coke. So.
Everyone knows that smoking leads to those effects, but they still smoke. They don't care.
Much like their anti-smoking campaign, the aim is to educate the public and make them aware of what they're putting into their bodies. With this new campaign, the OMA is not the only one looking to stomp out obesity. Large chain restaurants in the United States will soon, by law, have to display all calorie contents on their menu. For Spoke TV, I'm Stephen Ward.
Tonight, you can go trick-or-treating with a meaning. Conestoga Students Incorporated and United Way are using Halloween to raise money for their causes. Spoke TV's Ali Brogan explains how you can help.
Rather than just dressing up this Halloween, many charities are hoping people will use their enthusiasm for October 31st for a good cause. Student life programmer Ryan Connell told Spoke TV why the college has such a committed relationship with the United Way.
We are really involved with United Way each year, and they do a great job connecting with us to help fundraise money on our campus. Really, it's all done through employee pledges as well as student donations. But if there's anything we need, the United Way really helps step up with providing us with the resources.
Pumpkin carving for United Way is one of the fun Halloween events taking place during the 2-week United Way campaign. Student life programmer Janina Robinson explains one of the events taking place this week.
We're going to have 9 pumpkins available throughout the 2 hours, and we're going to be judging at the end for most creative, scariest, and most difficult to create.
Instead of going door-to-door trick-or-treating for candy this year, Conestoga Students Incorporated is asking for volunteers to go out into the community to trick-or-treat for some non-perishable food items. CSI member Taryn Schmidt explains how the food drive works.
It's called Trick or Treating with a Meaning, and what we're doing is we're getting students on campus to sign up. We provide them with a t-shirt and an awesome Conestoga Students bag to go out into the community and collect food on Halloween.
Getting in the Halloween spirit is great, especially when it involves fundraising. For Spoke TV, I'm Allie Brogan.
That's all we have for you this week. For Spoke TV, I'm Nicole Picton.
And I'm Sean Cassidy. For more campus news, visit spokeonline.com.